Guys, we got another week of insurance registrations. Of course, in this video, I will reveal to you why everybody is finally waking up to NIO being a trillion-dollar company. I will explain it in as much detail as I can. All right, so first of all, insurance registrations for last week, 4,000 for the NIO brand, 4,500 for the Envo brand, and 1,600 plus for the Firefly brand to give you over 10,000 insurance registrations last week. So this is very good pace, guys. And of course, we're going to expect this number to increase a little bit further as we go because ESA is continuously ramping up production. So let's talk about the trillion-dollar secret finally being revealed. And this is all thanks to the Li Auto mega fire. The cause of the fire has really driven awareness towards the situation and really explained why you have to choose a NIO. So the cause of the fire apparently has to do with the cooling liquid inside the Li Auto Mega's battery pack. And that cooling liquid apparently corroded some of the battery cells, causing a fire. And then as a result, they had to recall all of the 2024 Li Auto Megas. And this really highlights a situation where ever since the production of the car, the cooling liquid inside your battery is stuck there and it's not going to be changed or checked until you go for maintenance 2-3 years later or after 40,000, 60,000 kilometers. And during this time, you know, there's constant heat expansion because of the weather, cooling, and all that kind of stuff. And you're not going to notice a problem unless a problem occurs. It's sort of like you're sick, but the thermometer is broken, in a sense. All right, you don't know that you're in big trouble until like you're sick and you can't leave the bed. So it's kind of like that kind of situation. Whereas with NIO's battery swap, every time you do a swap, that battery gets checked. It's like where for other EVs, you get your battery checked every 40,000, 60,000 kilometers. With NIO, every time you do a swap, your battery gets checked. And even better, the cooling liquid inside NIO's battery packs are free flowing, basically meaning if the battery pack is too cold, then you need to pump in more cooling liquid and the battery swap station will do so. And then if it's too hot and there's expansion, then they can also relieve some of that pressure and remove some of that cooling liquid inside the battery pack. And that ensures optimal safety for the battery pack. And also, because of battery swap, you're able to monitor every single individual cell inside the battery pack and ensure that every single cell is healthy. And if there's like a single cell that's unhealthy, that's degraded too much, they can swap out that individual cell. Like some battery packs, they have 32 cells inside that battery pack. They can change the cell that is degraded or gone bad instead of replacing the entire battery pack. And that not only is environmentally friendly, but also really ensures safety, because what you're seeing with the Li Auto situation is you're not going to realize the problem is there until it's too late and the car catches on fire in less than 10 seconds. And, you know, if you can get out, you're lucky. If you can't get out, too bad. That's the situation you're in. And just recently, there was another Li Auto Mega that had like battery issues and then it just can't give power to the motors and the car could not accelerate inside a highway tunnel. How dangerous is that? You're inside a highway tunnel, you can't accelerate. You're stuck there because the battery has an issue. It can't give power to the motors. You can't go forward. It's slowly coming to a stop. And wow, absolute crazy. Well, at least that car didn't catch on fire, because if that did, that would be terrible inside a tunnel. Oh my God, tunnel fires are no joke, guys. So people are realizing, oh my God. So the importance of battery swap isn't just 5 minutes to get power, 3 minutes to get power. It's also safety, all right? Safety, the fact that you don't have to worry about the health of your battery or the safety of the battery. It's kind of insured or guaranteed by the fact that when you go for a battery swap, every battery inside the swap station has been checked. the cooling liquid has been stabilized. The cells have been checked to see if there's any like degradation and that kind of stuff. And of course, maintenance to make sure that there's proper power output and everything like that. And it really highlights this kind of issue. And this Li Auto mega incident here in China is for the first time driving awareness to this. And I hope you guys are mind blown by this information as well, because this just proves that, you know, if you drive an EV that can do battery swap, not only are you missing out on convenience, but you're also potentially compromising on safety. Potentially, okay? And the way that this Li Auto incident really happened is kind of gets people to scratch their heads, because the 2024 Li Auto Megas, 11,000 of them got recalled. But what about the 2025 Li Auto Megas? Why aren't they recalled? Was it because they changed a different cooling liquid? It's a different brand of cooling liquid, or maybe they made some design modifications. Does that mean that the 2024 Li Auto Mega is flawed in terms of design, and then they purposefully chose to not do anything about it until it was too late? And that, unfortunately, I can't say that if that's the case for Li Auto, but I can say that is the case for a lot of auto manufacturers here in China, that they would choose to compromise safety and put things in their own interest in terms of profitability. Whereas if you see NIO, they're spending so much money building out these swap stations, right? Placing these swap stations all over the country. And it's just a huge, massive investment that they have to put out. But then it guarantees convenience, it guarantees safety, and nothing's more important than safety. And then you see those people that claim, oh, you know, we can 4C fast charge, 5C fast charge. You got to see, at the end of the day, the faster you charge, the more deadly it is towards your battery, okay? And the more degradation your battery will incur. The most healthy charging speed, according to NIO CEO, is 0.5C, the slowest way of charging, because that way you can ensure good battery longevity. So in that sense, you know, yes, you're charging really fast with some of these other cars, but then your battery is taking a hit, its lifespan is taking a hit in order for you to charge faster. Is that really worth it? In that, like later on, if there's a problem that happens and the battery malfunctions and there's a fire, or you can't get power in a tunnel, is that worth that super fast charging speed? Is it worth it? Of course, I think not. So this situation, I hope people are really aware of this. This is why customers are waking up to this. They realize that, and there was a famous live streamer, Luo Yonghao, here in China, that really put it the best. All right, if you have an EV that can't do battery swap, that's not safer. An EV that can do battery swap is much safer, because the battery is constantly being swapped and inspected and checked. That is much safer than a car where it's never checked since it's produced, and you're just driving it on the road and you don't know what's going on with the battery. So that is a big takeaway of this video. And I hope you guys share this with your friends and really get people to understand that there's that safety, huge safety value going on with NIO. And eventually, I mean, a lot of consumers don't know this, but eventually with these kind of fire incidents and this kind of problem, that kind of problem, the safety benefit of battery swap is being finally realized. And then when it's fully realized by everyone in the world, it's kind of a no-brainer. Are you going to choose a car that guarantees the safety of the battery through battery swaps? Or are you going to choose a car where the battery is stuck on the car and you have no idea what's going on with the battery and potentially catch on fire? It's a no-brainer choice, right? And when that happens, you're going to see a lot of people, the default choice is, you know, you just have to choose a NIO, right? Unless you want to risk it. I don't want to risk it. Do you want to risk it, right? So do customers want to risk it? Well, they don't know that they're risking it, right? So when they know that they're risking it by choosing something else that can't do battery swap, what's going to happen? They're going to all choose a NIO. And by then, it's kind of like the default choice. You just can't choose anything else. Yeah, unless you want to risk it. So that's a big takeaway. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.